So Kash Patel is in serious trouble. Who knows, President Trump might just fire him, like what he did to Pam Bondi, right? At least this time it's for a better reason than being an idiot. Because Kash Patel is in big trouble, deep waters, because he was caught drinking at the Olympics. But what's even funnier is that he came back and decided to sue the company, The Atlantic, who's the first one that proposed the story. So let's take a look at what Kash Patel's talking about.
This scathing article about you in the Atlantic magazine. The Atlantic magazine director is alleging that you have a drinking problem, that it is getting in the way of your work running the FBI. What is your response this morning to this article?
Look, Maria, you and I have been at this together for a long time, whether I was leading the investigation on Russiagate back in the House or my time in the Trump admin 1 and now. And the results, I say, speak for themselves. If the fake news mafia isn't hitting you personally with baseless information in Washington, D.C., then you're not doing your job. And it's louder than ever because this FBI, under President Trump's brilliant leadership and backing the blue and backing law enforcement, this FBI has the most prolific year in crime reduction in the United States history.
So I just want to stop right there.
Interesting.
Notice how he's not addressing the substance of the claims. Trump and Patel inherited years of downward trends in terms of crime. Under the Biden administration, crime was decreasing precipitously. Trump didn't create that trend. He did not create that data point, nor did Patel. They inherited it from the previous administration. You know where crime spiked in recent modern history? Under Trump in 2020. So it was Trump's fault. Trump caused crime to skyrocket, and then Biden worked year after year to get it down, and then he handed that off to you. But again, know how he's not addressing the substance of the allegations. Instead, he's deflecting, look at how amazing Trump is on crime. That doesn't exactly fill one with confidence given the allegations against you. Again, he's trying to save his job. Then he goes on to suggest that he will in fact be suing The Atlantic over this unflattering, damaging report against him. Check it out.
And so, you know what? They can beat their drums and stand next to toxic waste all they want, but that doesn't make it toxic waste. And Maria, I'm happy to announce on your show that we are not going to take this laying down. You want to attack my character? Come at me. Bring it on. I'll see you in court.
So you're going to sue them?
Absolutely. It's coming tomorrow.
Tomorrow you will be dropping a lawsuit against The Atlantic magazine.
Yes, I will, for defamation. And because, you know what, Maria?
So, do you hear
defamation?
Yes, for defamation. Now, it'll be interesting to see. I suppose anything is possible, but defamation lawsuits against of this sort are incredibly hard to win, given robust First Amendment protections that reporters and journalists enjoy, to say nothing of the fact that, again, for this story, they interviewed, I think it was said, more than 24 sources for this profile on Kash Patel. But hey, who knows? Maybe he has the silver legal bullet that will...
Kash Patel.
FBI Director Kash Patel reportedly has a major drinking problem, and instead of addressing it, he's suing The Atlantic for $250 million. The Atlantic says they've spoken to more than 24 people, FBI officials, lawmakers, White House staffers, and even workers at bars that Patel frequents.
Wow.
The picture that's been painted is not great. He's reportedly getting wasted at Ned's in D.C., and the Poodle Room in Vegas, often in front of White House staff, and his security detail has repeatedly had trouble waking him up when the FBI needs him. Reportedly, at one point, they had to request breaching equipment, basically SWAT tools, to bust through a door because Patel was unreachable behind locked doors. So over the weekend, you had Patel denying this, saying on Twitter, quote, "The only time I'll ever actually be concerned about the hit piece lies you write about me will be when you stop." With him then following that up by filing a $250 million lawsuit this morning.
That's a lot of money.
The biggest thing is that this 19-page complaint has to prove actual malice, which is an extremely high bar. And actually, a good chunk of the filing reads less like a legal argument and more like a press release about Patel's so-called successes. So you have The Atlantic saying they stand by their reporting, which, look, Exhibit A is going to be that video of Patel, some saying looking hammered, chugging a beer with the U.S. hockey team at the Olympics. But like some other outlets, you have some concern that, hey, maybe there's a world where The Atlantic caves, they settle. Because if that happens, you have many saying it would just be another huge blow to American journalism. Though on the other hand, if the reporting is accurate and nothing happens, then, well, I guess the situation is you still have a drunk running the FBI. For now, follow to stay in the loop and share to spread the word.
Big news right now, Kash Patel, the FBI director, has officially
and he did all this
sued
on
the
420.
Atlantic for
Interesting,
$250 million for defamation after the Atlantic published an explosive article detailing Kash Patel's alleged alcohol use and alcoholism issues, including at least one situation where FBI officials had to call in SWAT team type battering rams to try to get him out of bed because he was not responsive to knocks on the door, and other serious episodes where Kash Patel has been essentially has been intoxicated
hilarious
and potentially compromise national security and the work of the FBI because of it. And well, because of this lawsuit, Kash Patel has opened himself up to discovery. Questions about his alcohol use. It's all fair game.
We need America to wake up and prioritize Israel and bring home Israelis and make sure we stand by our number one ally in Israel.
Let's hear that again,
We need America to wake up and prioritize Israel and bring home Israelis and make sure we stand by our number one ally in Israel.
Hold on, is this AI? Is this really Kash Patel doing this? Astounding. Really astounding. Wow. Whoa, Kash. That is hilarious. So this was a day when Kash Patel was supposedly a drunk person that day.
We are back with breaking news. In just the last hour, we are learning FBI Director Kash Patel has filed a $250 million lawsuit against The Atlantic magazine after it published a bombshell report accusing him of excessive drinking and unexplained absences. The article cited conversations with more than 24 people, including current and former FBI officials.
Wow.
And quoting from the article, they said that he is known to drink to the point of obvious intoxication, in many cases at the private club Ned's in Washington, D.C., while in the presence of White House and other administration staff. Concern is
FBI Director Kash Patel is...
All right, here's the breaking news. The week begins with Kash Patel.
Donald, I'm pretty sure that FBI Director Kash Patel is about to be unemployed. You know why? Because FBI Director Kash Patel is pretty sure he's about to be unemployed. If you haven't read it yet, you should check out this.
All right, let's hear this.
Just came out. They write about how a week prior to publishing, on April 10th, Patel got locked out of a computer system because, I don't know, he forgot his password. And he apparently had a complete and total meltdown because he thought that the White House had fired him. And his belief that he's going to get fired is not a new thing. It's something that he's apparently been extremely paranoid about. Now, Patel is...
It's true. Trump fires a lot of people.
The worst FBI director pick ever in history. He's the least qualified, and the man is compromised. He has a disease. He is an alcoholic. And people who drink to the point of inebriation should not be working in intelligence and national security. But it's not Kash Patel's incompetence that's going to get him fired, or the fact that he's a national security risk, or that he's doing things like, I don't know, firing all of the FBI's experts in Iran right before we start a war with Iran. It's going to be the alcoholism, because that's something that Donald Trump is sensitive to. Trump does not drink. He lost his older brother to alcoholism, and Trump really cares about aesthetics. So as they write about in The Atlantic, after Patel was on video partying with the men's hockey team after they won gold in the Olympics, he apparently got a phone call from Trump expressing his disappointment.
Whoa.
Now, in this article, they talk about how Patel has established some habits. He likes to get inebriated quite often.
All right, so Kash Patel has sued The Atlantic for defamation. Let me tell you why I think this case is going nowhere. First and foremost, the standard is extremely high. He's a public figure. So basically what they have to prove is that not only they published false and defamatory information, but that they acted with actual malice in doing so, meaning they knew it was false. It was reckless. It was obvious, totally clear. Secondly, you're dealing with The Atlantic. This is a real publication, one of the last outposts of journalism in this country. That story was deeply, deeply sourced. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sources plus on every one of the major accusations. And just think about the Signalgate fiasco. You remember that? When Jeffrey Goldberg, who's a writer, he got texted a bunch of stuff over Signal about pending attack plans on the Houthis in Yemen. He published it. The White House said, oh, wait, you know, this is false. It's defamation, blah, blah, blah. And then right after that, Goldberg's like, nope. And he published even more information in the second story, proving it was totally true. Guess who Goldberg works for? The Atlantic. In fact, he's an editor over there, and there's a good chance he edited this story about Kash Patel. What I would do if I was The Atlantic, I wouldn't file a motion to dismiss to get rid of the case early. I would do discovery, get Kash Patel under oath in depositions, and I would get more and more information over the next 6 months, and just keep publishing stories based upon about what I learned in discovery. That would be amazing, because you're going to keep getting more and more and more, and he's going to be totally screwed. By the way, the attorney representing Kash Patel, Jesse Bennell, is a known MAGA loser. He represented Mike Flynn, lost that case. He represented Donald Trump, tried to overturn the 2020 election, lost that case. So this is going nowhere, I predict.
Even if we look at Kash Patel's Twitter, let's see. Operation Sweet Silence, massive violent gang takedown. FBI Atlanta with our partners involving the criminal organization. Okay, interesting. FBI Los Angeles, San Diego doing outstanding work, taking down fraud and crushing violent crime. Images right here from the Caroline Levitt. President Trump's delivers results. 21% burglary down. Motor vehicle theft down. Homicide, robbery. But is it actually true? This right here, the Fox News clip where he slammed the Atlantic. Interesting, Kash Patel. Let's see what happens in this case. He's a memo to the fake news. The only time I'll ever actually be concerned about the piece that you realize about me will be when you stop. Keep talking means I'm doing exactly what I should be doing. And no amount of BS you write will ever deter the FBI from making America safe again. So we see one thing. He likes to sue a lot of people.
Kash Patel just ended his own career with his lawsuit against the Atlantic, which is pretty ironic coming from a man who was so concerned when he got locked out of his email that he got fired, that he's actually doing this and opening himself up to discovery. In case you missed it, The Atlantic published a piece going, "The FBI director is MIA," and it outlined allegations of serious concern over Kash Patel's alleged use of alcohol and times where he was unable to be reached, including an incident where they considered using a battering ram to break down his door. Now,
we have some news right now. Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, fact that they're...
It's April 20th, 2020.
So Kash Patel is not backing down from the media. On April 20th, he filed a $250 million defamation lawsuit in federal court against The Atlantic magazine and reporter Sarah Fitzpatrick. The suit targets an April 17 article that claimed...
And so
nobody's gonna know.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know.
Patel.
How would they know?
I've always had questions about this guy.
How would they know? How would they know? I just...
So a crazy article about Kash Patel just came out in the Atlantic. Let me go through.
FBI Patel used absolutely wild news this morning. Kash Patel woke up today and thought he was actually fired from the Secrets.
And I am never going to let this go, because they not only have personally attacked the presidency of the United States and President Trump, but they tried to thwart our elections and rig the entire system. And that is not something that is going to stop on. That is not something I'm going to allow on my watch. But you just have to remember, they built this disease temple over 20 and 30 years. We've got all the evidence. I can announce on your show that we've got all the information we need. We're working with our prosecutors at Department
now
of
they're
Justice
suing for 2020. Interesting.
And we are going to be making arrests, and it's coming.
Whoa,
and
making arrest.
It's coming soon.
So
it's happening, folks.
There was an article about...
Y'all know.
There was an article about...
FBI Director Kash Patel saying a former employee
Why
of the U.S. military has been arrested for leaking classified information to the media. The arrest coming just 2 days after President Trump threatened criminal charges for journalists who published details of a military operation to rescue 2 U.S. airmen in Iran.
This is another classic thing that Kash Patel seems to be doing. Suing, drinking on the job. Classic examples of what it means to be MAGA.